I'm 20 years old. Why is a one-bedroom apartment $600, $1,600? Like, oh my God, for 500 square foot.
One at a time, I said. Yep.
Rent prices is outrageous. And then these jobs, they're bare minimum jobs. Like, I'm supposed to be in customer service. Before I was a server, I was working at like fast food restaurants, and nothing against them, love it, but we need them jobs. But why are you yelling at me over a burger? So it's one of those type of things. It's like the work life, trying to balance out school, trying to balance out finding housing. It's just overhyped. Like,
what up, y'all? Welcome back to the channel, man. If you're still with me by the time you hear this rant, go ahead and hit that like and subscribe button. But today we're talking about a little something different. This is not my normal content because I saw this on the other social media app, right? I saw this and it came from the office of Tatum. And anytime I see anything from him, I question it because, you know, if you don't know who he is, he's a very, very extremist when it comes to like being a conservative. And he will do anything, you know, to push his agenda, to pander to whatever audience he thinks is listening to him, all right? But I saw this clip and I noticed that this is from Msnbc. And if you look at here at the top of the picture, by reading this, you know, you would think that what he's saying is true by her rant. But I want to show you guys how easy you can take a clip of a video and then put your own narrative on it and run with it, and millions of people will see it. This man has millions upon millions of followers and subscribers, and they eat this up. But I'm going to show you the full clip and then show you why you should never just listen to people. You should do your own research.
They conducted 2 focus groups with executive producer on an upcoming documentary about Gen Z voters entitled The Power of Z, for which he recently conducted 2 focus groups with Gen Z voters in North Carolina and Minnesota. So, John, we're going to hear from those voters in just a moment. But first, explain the project for us.
Yeah, thanks again so much for having me, Mika. You know, so many times I come on to your set to talk about the numbers and the statistics and the impact that I think Gen Z and younger voters will make at the ballot box. Today, what I'm delivering is the humanity behind those numbers. The story of a generation that was born into the Great Recession, that turned into adulthood during the chaos of Trump and the trauma of COVID. This is their story.
Did you hear that? Chaos of Trump and turmoil of COVID. So let's just continue.
This is the origin story of Gen Z, and it's quite moving when I think you hear the story in their own words.
Gen Z voters largely optimistic about Harris, but say she needs to prove herself on the campaign trail. Makes total sense. Now, all this stuff he was talking about on his post and the narrative that he put has nothing to do with this interview that he showed. But let's continue.
Yeah, well, let's take a look at a clip from your Gen Z focus groups where the young voters discuss the rising cost of living.
I'm 20 years old. Why is a one-bedroom apartment $600, $1,600? Like, oh my God, for 500 square foot.
One at a time, I said. Yep.
Rent prices is outrageous. And then these jobs, they're bare minimum jobs. Like, I'm supposed to be in customer service. Before I was a server, I was working at like fast food restaurants, and nothing against them, love it, but we need them jobs. But why are you yelling at me over a burger? So it's one of those type of things. It's like the work life, trying to balance out school, trying to balance out finding housing. It's just overhyped. Like, I really waited my whole life to grow up and do this.
My parents are Gen X's, and they've never like owned a house at all. And there were many times where we were homeless, and obviously being homeless before 18 as a kid, it does a lot, and it makes you ponder a lot.
A lot of people assume that homeless people don't have jobs or on drugs, but I kept a full-time job the whole time I was homeless. It's just that everything is so expensive nowadays that what do you prioritize? Like, do you prioritize eating over having a home? Do you prioritize having to pay to take a shower somewhere over getting a home?
I think my biggest stress right now is anything financial. I think minimum wage hasn't changed since you were 22, but the price of an apartment has tripled, you know? So it's we as Gen Z, I feel like I've been talking about this a lot, we have to make 3 jobs just to make ends meet. And that's not fun money, that's money so that we're not homeless on the streets. And I think this, Gen X might, not agree with this statement, but I feel like Gen Z has to work 3 times as hard and not get any of the payout.
So now, have you heard anything about policy? Who was right? Who caused it? Anything that make you think the narrative that Officer Tatum put in his post was correct, right? These are the clips he didn't show you. Better yet, I'm going to show you something else he didn't show you as well.
In this exchange, the Gen Z voters from your focus group in Minnesota talk about their governor, who is Kamala Harris's running mate, Tim Walz.
Doesn't own any stocks in anywhere. He also doesn't have any real estate or other assets that aren't really he's just like a guy that just he's just like a normal guy, which is really appealing.
That's why I think Tim Walz is so exciting for me, for him to be vice president. He's more of a person than these politicians are. Most of these politicians were born with a lot of more money. They've never really experienced being lower class or what it's like to be an average American person.
He used to be a football coach, for a local team, and again, very low-paying job. Not a job that you're in because you want to make a lot of money.
Although he is a gun owner, he's put into legislature stronger gun reform. He has a daughter who it sounds as though he has a very good relationship with, and she has also communicated with him about her opinions on school shootings and how that has affected her, and then also taken that in and changed his opinions.
Wait a minute. Where is the slamming of the Democratic policies? Where is this narrative that she was pushing, Officer Tatum? I know I got a small platform. Not too many people are going to see this. But if you happen to see this, you got to do better, bro. People watch you, millions. You have millions of subscribers on all social media. And for you to, this is not, a mix-up. This is a blatant lie. This is blatant pandering. This is done on purpose. This has nothing to do with policy. This was about a group of people, young adults, who doesn't know what the future holds for them and their concerns. Also, they're more of swing voters because they haven't decided yet who they're going to vote for. But you put it out there as if, they're just, blaming the Democratic Party for everything, when everything that they're complaining about started when Trump was in office. So you got to do better, bro. Ooh, I got worked up over that, man. All right, I'm going to calm down, get back to my normal videos next week. But let me know your thoughts in the comment section. Do you think he did it on purpose? Come on, I'm going to let y'all see the post one more time. Please tell me where they said that in this video, that people are fed up with Democrat leadership. Come on, bro. You got to do better, man. You got millions of followers. This was done on purpose. This was done on purpose, and you know it. Man, y'all let me know your thoughts in the comment section, man. I ain't got nothing else to say. I get too worked up about this stuff, man. Back to my normal content, but I got to call it like I see it, man. I'll see y'all next video.